Hello, it's the ICE Occupation Journal. It is Tuesday, January 27th. It is just before 11 p.m. Central Time. Uh, Today, it was an interesting day. After work, I had a long ahead scheduled appointment at the VA to have my heart looked at. I have an irregular heartbeat that I've been dealing with for years, and I was talking to a cardiologist about, we've been managing with meds, but now we're talking potentially inserting a catheter to regulate my heartbeat. So that was what I dealt with. Very real medical stuff for me, but I'm healthy. I'm good. I just my ticker uh, has a different pace than others do, and we're keeping an eye on it. Uh, I didn't realize I had my whistle on when I took off my jacket, and the healthcare provider who did my EKG had a real moment with me talking about Alex Preddy and having encountered him and how much it hurts. And he asked if I was out patrolling and everything, and I said yes. And he thanked me, and then I said, "Well, thank you for taking care of veterans, and I'm sorry about your colleague." Had a real heart to heart repeat with the cardiologist, and even the woman who took my blood. Uh, it was a real moment. Once my appointment finished, I went and found the four different uh, uh, memorials or vigils set up. Four. That was a loved man. Outside the front gate or the employee entrance on 54th, there's an outdoor memorial where people have set up signs and candles and everything. The statue at the entrance off Minnehaha, there are flowers and notes left for him. The chapel inside has his photo and flowers and notes. And up at the waiting room outside the ICU, there is a large memorial with a board full of letters and pictures and drawings people have made. And I just took it in. People were stopping by, reading the notes. Uh, Everyone gave knowing glances to each other. Tissues were being used. It was solemn, but it was also an active hospital. Doctors would walk by talking about cases, and nurses were running samples down halls. This is a place where they take care of veterans, and they do it very well. I have had very good care at the VA over the years. And to know one of the people that took care of veterans like me and they're most vulnerable in the ICU, to know a person who did that is gone through an act of state violence, of anger, and born of racism and fascism is a real kick to the spirit and the gut. Also, since this is a journal, I'm trying to keep track of everything. I also went on patrol in my neighborhood for a good 3 hours tonight and was able to scare away or chase off three vehicles full of agents with whistles without them taking anyone in a Walgreens parking lot. It felt like a big win. I needed it after that. I'm going to try and do something at the end here. One of Alex Preddy's co-workers wrote a beautiful poem. They typed it up and taped it on the glass window of the vigil in the ICU waiting room for all to read. They put their name and they dated it, and I'm an actor and a performer. I have written some poetry, and this is a very beautiful poem. I'm going to read it for you, or at least attempt to. If the person who wrote this sees it, or anyone, if I have overstepped by reading this, please let me know. I'll immediately take this video down. I will edit it out and not include this. But they typed it up and put it up publicly where pictures were taken, so I think it's going to be okay, and it's beautiful. And I think more people need this poem. The author is labeled as A, first initial D. Camillus. The poem is dated 1/26/26. Its title is 2 p.m. I won't make eye contact necessarily. I'm looking at the script in front of me behind the camera, the poem. All right. A procession of cares in black moves towards the second floor. Silent heaviness converges upon approach. Surrounding the ICU doors, a hall full of supporters stand shoulder to shoulder. Gathering down the corridor, more assemble, then even more. No words, just silence. Look ahead, awkward, uncomfortable at first. Look down. Heat builds with the abundance of bodies and breath. Look within. Silence permeates. Close eyes. Breathe deep. Immerse in the moment. The collective breath slows, becoming palpable and rhythmic. Images from weekend news flash in the mind's eye. They cannot be unseen. Death replayed 1,000 times. Thoughts of Alex Preddy. His story, his compassion, his legacy. His role as an ICU nurse within RVA. He entered through these doors daily, these exact doors, yet now no more. He cared for veterans on the brink of life, and in the blink of an eye, he is gone. Those he worked with, cloaked in blue scrubs, stand like silent guards before the ICU doors. Hands in front, eyes ahead. Healthcare workers, years of masking emotion, used to holding feeling within. You can see the heaviness in their eyes, the distant stare of loss. Awkward silence shifts to connectedness, a sense of community. We are one. He was one of us, together in collective grief. Silence becomes comfort. A sniffle encourages another's tears. A single tear streams down, lingering on the chin, holding on. One sniffle, contagious like a yawn, becomes many. The silence of the moment feels like perpetuity. A community already grieving, your death brings that grief even closer today. We could be you. You could be any of us. Someone gestures to look behind. Several turn. A sharp inhalation felt. Witnessing the scope of healthcare workers gathered. The line stretching down the hall, around the corner. Silence is broken by slow movement. A procession, 2 by 2. The mass begins to move toward flowers, candles, words, and images of you. Eyes connect, Tears flow more freely. Soft, wavering smiles are exchanged. Warmth continues to build from bodies close in the hallway. We continue moving forward. Further ahead, the sound of slow heaves, then heavy sobs, flood the corridor. If eyes weren't full of tears, the collective cry from the chief and the team ushers them in. Breath sits heavy in the chest, barely moving, simply holding. Your team, those holding you closest, have the heaviest hearts. They receive hugs, cards, and looks of empathy. Experiencing the reality that you will never walk through these doors again. Your death feels so unnecessary, yet perhaps it was. Your name now echoes across the globe. Your kindness shines through in the smile of your eyes. Your name is prominent on signs of protest and support. Your impact now extending far beyond those ICU doors. And yet, the presence of your absence will linger here. Silently, the masses depart, heading back to their units, masking up with smiles to care for those who served. Thank you, A.T. Camillus.